Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Your key to the week this week is the Chariot card. Now the message that I get from this is, yes, all the usual rules apply, victory, success, absolutely. But this week I kind of feel like this is one of those moments where it's like angels don't go where angels fear to tread, all right? Now what I mean by this is your first reaction to something that comes up this week is that you're going to charge in, you're going to play the knight in shining armor or the, Joan of Arc or whatever you want to call yourself, right? The feeling that I get from this is you're going to try to charge in on something on somebody else's behalf. You're going to try to, yes, you know what, and you will probably win, right? Aquarius is very good with words. You're very diplomatic when you need to be. You're really persuasive when you have to be. So you could absolutely come away from it. However, this is one of those moments where you realize, like, so as an example, not saying that this is the case, but as an example, you go in hammer and tongs for somebody whose kid has upset yours or hit yours or whatever. You go in like a bull in a china shop, really go in hammer and tongs, and only to find out that actually it was your kid that started it all. This could be where you rush in to defend a family member or a significant other, where, you're going in to defend somebody that you love and care about, only to realize that actually this person started this or initiated this, and now you've come in at the tail end like a battle axe. And it's like you might walk away from the whole situation feeling a little bit sheepish because it's like, right, okay. If I'd have known that little tidbit, I probably wouldn't have charged in the way that I did. So just keep that as a consideration this week. That being said, there's a few things here. Your car may need attendance. It might be that you're taking a road trip for a select few of you. It could also be as well that maybe you're doing some kind of travel. Very often the Chariot card shows up with the Chariot. And then finally, this card is a really fast, dynamic energy. So again, you might really want to rush forward with something. Just take your time. You have all the time that you need. With that said, if you are a continued subby, Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, we have the 9 of Wands. Something that you charge in on, right? You go in and you could just absolutely let rip, and then you're going to realize, oh crap, probably going to need to take that back now or make some kind of apology. Now that you know this is where I would probably say, okay, when this comes up this week and you feel like charging in, ask yourself and the other person that's involved, what are the facts of this situation before I go in on your behalf? If it is the case that you still want to do so, then please, by all means, feel free. As an actions and options card, though, the 9 of Wands also suggests that there's possibly something that you have to get off your chest this week. And by saying it or owning it or maybe admitting a vulnerability, this could see you literally, 1, feeling better, and 2, feeling a lot lighter. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Tower card. It's funny, right? There was that slip earlier that came up, and the Chariot card, because it represents, that forward momentum and charging in with something, its literal number is the number 7. The Tower card is number 16. 1 and 6 gives you 7. You end up with the Tower when you charge in on something way too quickly. This could also be with the 9 of Wands. This could be maybe some news that comes in about somebody who's had an accident. Touch wood, I hope I'm wrong on that front. But literally, like, this could see you ending up needing to do some serious remedial you could, and be careful of damaging relationships with words this week, because whatever damage is done will likely be irreparable. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, Honestly, this is one of those wrong turn moments. You know, you write like a 1,500 word essay on, or, you know, introduction or whatever on this, and this, and then you reread the question and you're like, oh crap, it's just, it's nowhere even near in the ballpark. So this week, if a teacher or maybe even a peer says to you, are you sure you want to write about this, or are you sure you're doing this in the right way? You could be so confident in what you're doing that you don't even realize that you're going the wrong way. All right. This happens to me all the time. Don't worry about it. Well, obviously be concerned. You know, this has happened to me before many times where I've been talking about something, I totally knew what I was talking about. Like with astrology, there's been a few times, in fact, that's why there was no Scorpio reading this month. I had the moon placement wrong, and because of I had it in my mind that I was talking about a specific house, the conviction was there, the passion was there, but I was talking about the wrong placement. It happens, but this week, because it looks like it's interpersonal stuff, you may not be able to take this back once you sort of open that jar. Now, and for a lot of you, you know, especially if you're working towards a deadline and this is for an essay and you've already written most of it in the wrong vein, this might be some really late nights, some really long, hard working moments over the course of the next week to rectify. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, look, I gotta be honest with you, I kind of feel that this week your boss or a superior is leading the whole team down a wrong sort of turn. You could try to flag it up, but in all honesty, what's probably going to happen is you're going to clash with this person. You will then probably get reprimanded, I'm sorry to say, and then they will probably blame it on you because you wouldn't let it lie or whatever. Unfortunately, this might be one of those times where you have to let the boss crash the cart in order to say, well, you know, I don't want to say I told you so, but do you know what I mean? Like, this might be one of those times. As an example, let's say your boss comes in and says, right, we're all doing this week and it has to be and then their boss comes in and says, why is everybody doing this? Even if you tried to vehemently warn them, that person's probably going to throw you under the bus. Don't give them opportunity this week. If they're steering the whole team in the wrong direction, let them away. I'm doing what I was told, no problem. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or people that work for themselves, quite honestly, this could be a week where you overshare. Maybe you overshare with a client, maybe you overshare with a colleague or you know, a business prospect of some sort. Have your, not even your wits about you. Like, this is not a week, and I will be cautioning myself on this week, trust me, because I have a tendency, like, the way I see it is nothing is sacred. You know, there are obviously certain parts of my past I don't want to talk about. Everybody has that. But for the most part, I don't see the point in hiding who you've been throughout your life, because you're not that person anymore. We're consistently evolving and changing. However, there could be an overshare this week, so just be mindful of that. And I made one like 2 weeks ago on, and it wasn't an overshare, it was just something that was probably not appropriate for what I was talking about. So if you go back and watch all the Cancer readings, you're like, ooh, I wasn't talking about me, I was just giving you an example. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this does feel like there is some news here that's coming up around your health or somebody else's health. And if it is someone else's health, you're very likely going to need to go and travel to see this person very quickly. I hope I'm wrong on that front. For your love and relations, you've got the Ten of Swords. So this could be news, potentially of a family member passing. I'll be honest with you, I do feel like you will have time to go and see this person before it happens, but it could be very quick and it could be very sudden. And like I said, when you get that call to say you may want to come visit, do it. Because if you don't, the chances are, again, I really hope I'm wrong on this front, but the chances are you could live to regret it. All right. Now, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this could be a significant other's family member. It's possible. I wouldn't be surprised this week if you're hearing of maybe your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, maybe their parents or a sibling of theirs, or somebody in their friendship circle. I wouldn't be surprised if you're hearing about a breakup this week. When it comes to your those of you that are single, honestly, with a week like this, to be honest with you, it feels more like you could be meeting somebody on a sort of more casual basis, and that could really because you need the distraction from something else that's going on. For your money and materials, you have the 8 of Cups. Cut your losses and run this week. All right, whatever you're looking at and you think, oh, I was supposed to get this, or don't get into any of it. Whatever has taken money from you and not paid back or given or delivered the goods, cut your losses and run. Obviously, if it's big money, then sue the pants off of them once Mars goes direct, because at the moment it's slowing down to go retrograde. That is not a time to launch any kind of legal proceedings. But yeah, when it comes to money, this might be a week where you're having to cut your losses and run. Potentially, some of you are having to spend money on your car this week. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the 8 of Cups is your it's your feet, your toes and your ankles, especially because you've got this 9 of Wands here, which is slips, trips and falls. Please look after your feet, your toes and your ankles. One of those things where you're absent-mindedly doing something, before you know it, you're twisting an ankle or you've stubbed a toe or whatever. Just be careful, all right? Watch out for your tootsies this week. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, some of you are called away from home this week, quite possibly very quickly. So again, just remain flexible this week. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have as best a week as you possibly can. Remember to temper what you say, all right? Temper the temper. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.